at David Finlay.
Look at this. Jay White is chasing David Finlay on the outside. Just shows you the magnitude of this grudge match.
In 2015, these men joined the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo. They debuted as young lions for New Japan that same year, and over the course of their New Japan careers would share the ring more than 100 times.
Good gracious.
As Finlay's head bounced.
Just punched a hole right in our announce table with his skull. That's why I love, another reason why I love this Continental Cup Classic is no outside ring interference. Just these two, especially these guys had such a heated blood feud. This is the kind of wrestling I love.
Of course, the action in the C3 Continental Challenge Cup take place tonight on Dynamite and will continue. The first round culminates actually on Collision this Saturday night, 8/7 Central, TNT, HBO Max. Brian Cage, Echecero, both members of the Don Callis family, will face off, as will Conglomeration members Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, as David Finlay elects not to cover, instead right hands to the head of Switchblade Jay White and Katsuyori Shibata. Nigel McGuinness, our broadcast colleague, first round action this Saturday night on Collision, 8/7 Central, TNT, HBO Max.
See, I think this is a mistake by David Finlay. I mean, the idea is to advance, and that's obviously, I mean, that's very obvious here.
I'm surprised by that tactic, especially somebody as smart as David.
Jay White, the waist lock, ducked the back elbow, now the backbreaker. Covered, shoot. I mentioned the 100 plus times these two men have shared the ring with one another in New Japan Pro Wrestling. More often than not, in the early days, they were on the same team, but it was 2018. David Finlay betrayed Switchblade Jay White, and that was the genesis of the rivalry between these two men. But it seemed to culminate in 2023. Finlay, once again, attacked Jay White, usurped White's position as the leader of Bullet Club.
A vicious boots in the corner.
Jay White trying to drag himself back up to a vertical position. The rivalry, Tony, was thought to be dormant until earlier this year. Jay White made his long-awaited return to AEW Forbidden Door, and he targeted David Finlay, leading to that double chain match last month at Redemption.
Well, a lot of what David Finlay has done here in AEW, he's done with the aid of Clark Connors, his teammate with the Dogs, and sometimes the Death Riders that we've seen as well, Excalibur. Can't do that tonight. No outside interference, one-on-one. Let's see how he fares against a man who hates him.
David Finlay now introduced to the ring apron, courtesy of Switchblade Jay White. White using the chop, sends Finlay back into the ring. Suplex over the top, Jay White. Leg hook, cover made.
Oh, that time Finlay was fighting Paul to get out.
Just fighting. Jay White had that nice cover hooked in there deep. Finlay had to dig deep to kick out of that. I'm really fascinated at these two competing against each other because there's so much animosity, there's so much bad blood, but also they're very similar in their attack styles, very aggressive.
Do you think that is a part of them coming up in the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo at the same time?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand it, but I'm feeling a lot of, oh, nice.
Beautiful neck breaker.
I feel a lot of the respect. I feel the hatred. This is an incredible match.
Well, this C3 Continental Challenge Cup match continues live on Dynamite. Now, lateral press, shoot. David Finlay.
Now, Finlay saw that Excalibur that Jay was hurting, man. He took advantage of it. And Jay Jay just blinking his eyes there, man. He's in trouble.
Paul, these two men, we've talked about how much, we talked at length about how well they know each other. And when you're traveling, when you're competing in Japan, not only are you spending times in the dojo, there's a lot of long hours on those long bus rides and stuff. But it's plenty of time for you to talk over strategy, your philosophy of professional wrestling, and share ideas.
That's the thing that interests me about these two, because these two have studied each other. They've grown together. You know, they're so much alike. That's part of the animosity that they have towards each other, I think. You know, it's exciting for me to sit here and watch and just to see how they go back and forth and attack and the viciousness and the innovative This is exciting stuff, and in a perfect setting in this Continental Club Classic. No outside interference, just these two. This is at its raw, purest form. Love this Continental Club Classic.
Continental Challenge Cup.
Challenge Cup, yes. You know, that's why you're here. You help me when I say something stupid, Ax. Come on.
At least I did it in international.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Cover made.
Cody Rhodes and Rob the Femi versus the
And Tony,
for the tag title.
when these two men were competing in New Japan Pro Wrestling, it was Jay White that first broke out as a single star. And despite them starting in the dojo at the same time, being relatively the same age, David Finlay felt like he was overlooked, that he had everything. He had the same, if not more to offer than Jay White was, or Jay White did, but Finlay was not being appreciated for it.
Well, you know, and I understand that, and I get it. I mean, Finlay's got a great lineage, fourth-generation wrestler, and he feels that maybe that he should have stepped ahead of Jay White. But look, Jay White's been a great performer. One thing that has set him back, though, is that he has been injured here in AEW a number of times. 15 months off from an injury, and that can slow you down, Paul, as you know.
100%. It changes your evolution. It changes your flow. You're working from behind. It's tough.
And speaking from behind, Switchblade Jay White drags Finlay down into the ring and unleashes a flurry of right hands, but a chop across the windpipe staunches the momentum of Switchblade Jay White.
That's that fourth generation of Dave Finlay. He's so efficient in his cutoff tactics. Nothing fancy. Direct punch and throw. Oh! Nice dive and uppercut elbow in the corner.
Finlay in control of his longtime rival. This grudge match, not only is it a grudge match, it's a first-round match in the Continental Challenge Cup as Finlay floats over.
I'd like to see a little bit more aggressive cover on that, but again, there's a lot of ego being played into this.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite first round action in the Continental Challenge Cup. Switchblade Jay White, David Finlay. Finlay, Tony, has been in the driver's seat for the last few moments.
Yeah, he has approached this match with some venom in his veins. Whoa, but that may have changed the complexion.
That was a little bait and switch there. I think Jay White suckered fit in there.
What?
David Finlay got a little aggressive, went in that corner. Switchblade was able to counter that. And suplex into the second turnbuckle. Looks like Jay White's got a lot of momentum going here.
He's known as a switchblade, and that was a blade chop right there.
Because he opens up quick.
Ducks underneath David Finlay. And ready for Finlay, connects with the DDT. Jay White.
No! Whoa! Oh, that was close.
Jay White is hooking those covers deep, using all his body weight on the shoulders, hooking the legs. Dave Finlay's having to fight for everything to get out of this.
Paul, these two men have met more than a dozen times one-on-one. This is their first head-to-head meeting in AEW, and this is actually David Finlay's first one-on-one. Oh, wait a second, Blade Runner.
Okay, he was going for it right there.
Great counter by Finlay. He was ready for Jay White. Finlay, though, gets countered in his own turn. And now, David Finlay, the backbreaker. But Paul, wait a second, a cover again. Far leg hooked, and Jay White able to kick out. Do you think David Finlay may have been too accustomed to competing as a tag team, as part of a unit here, showing some signs, maybe some ring rust in terms of singles competition?
Well, you're definitely got to change up your thinking, because you all are on your own. That's expending energy, how you attack, how do you recover. But I can also see just the animosity and the disdain that David Finlay has for Switchblade it's there, it's legit. It fires him up, it fuels him. The way these two go at each other is just, it's so fun to watch.
Now David Finlay, Jay White on the top rope. White, though, clutching on desperately to that top turnbuckle. And some right hands to the head. The leader of the Dogs, Jay White. Repeated blows. Now,
very smart, get back on the ground. Oh!
But Finlay ready for him.
He's just fighting back on instinct.
Nice. Counter there by Jay White. Deadlift German suplex, the bridge. No, Jay White couldn't complete the bridge, came down.
Jay White hurt his neck?
I think so. The referee looked towards Doc Sampson over here.
Scary moment here as referee Rick Knox checking in.
I wonder if he got we call it a stinger, you know, that is, sometimes you can hit the back of your neck and it makes your arms go numb.
Right. Or sometimes you just get your bell rung.
Jay White, though, trying to steady himself back up to his feet.
That double chain match, we'll recall with the Dogs, man, that can have an effect.
Oh, but
look how smart David Finlay is. Back elbow right to the back of the neck. He smelled that weakness in Jay White. That's great instinct. That's just being around the industry your entire life, fourth generation. Unconscious competence is what that is. He didn't even think about that.
Second DDT by Finlay. Is he going to take it here? Floats over, cover, 2, and whoa! Jay White kicking out. David Finlay.
So close getting that win back after what happened, what he did to him at Redemption. And I pick up where he left off, man.
I have that feeling that David Finlay wants to beat Jay White so in a dominating fashion. You know, on the covers and stuff, it's a lot of the dominating pose.
Now,
yeah, the Dogs beat the Bang Gang at Redemption, but Finlay wants to prove he can do it one-on-one here.
but Jay White
fighting out of it.
Yeah, fighting out of the grip. Now body shot, right hand, kick to the midsection, and Jay White for that cutthroat suplex, but instead, Finlay, for once again, Jay White double underhook. And White has Finlay trapped and drives him down. Jay White covers to Finlay.
That's the same move that Finlay hurt him on at Redemption.
Finlay able to keep his Continental Challenge Cup hopes alive, but Switchblade Jay White, Blade Runner, Finlay, prepare. The brain buster on the knee, the leg hooked, 2, and Jay White.
It is amazing how well these two know each other. I mean, it's tit for tat, back and forth.
And I tell you, Jay White at the very last second, I didn't think he was going to get out of that one, gentlemen.
That was finer than frog hair. He barely got out of that.
Excalibur, let's not forget, it's the fight to the finish. There's no time limit in these matches.
No time limit. Everyone is banned from ringside. Continental Challenge Cup matches are hilarious.
That was just
do it again.
ugly.
Yeah, Finlay a second one, but Jay White didn't go down that time. Oh, but now the third takes White off his feet.
Those were three, Paul, heavy lariats.
Sending a message.
You're not kidding. Oh, here he goes.
Blade, run, 2, 3.
He wins, he moves on, and gets a measure of revenge.
Jay White moves on to the quarterfinal round, joining Claudio Castagnoli, Orange Cassidy, and Eddie Kingston. In our main event, Jungle Jack Perry, Jon Moxley, first round action. But up next, we will hear from the new AEW World Trios Champion.